Hi everyone, so today we'll talk about getting started with cryptocurrencies, and this is assuming that you're a complete beginner and you know a little bit about Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever other altcoin, and you want to get started. So I'm going to break it down to 10 simple steps in hopefully a 10-minute video. Alright, let's begin. So the first thing you really need to do is do some research, and this is regardless of what the price is. Forget about the price for a moment. First thing you need to do is you need to understand the coin. Is there a development team behind it? What's the philosophy of the coin? Is it trying to act as a payment system, or is it a payment for a service, or is it trying to be a currency like Bitcoin, or like an Ethereum? It's got a dual purpose as in a currency and also as a mode of payment, which they call gas, to cover execution of smart contracts. So do some research about the cryptocurrency you want to get involved in. This is really important. That's the first thing you need to do. Don't just follow the hype. So do some research. Step 2. Now that you know what you want to get, think about a monthly limit that you are willing to invest, and this doesn't need to be a monthly limit. Maybe it's every couple of months you want to put a certain amount in. But the reason why we talk about this is it's so important to actually not overextend yourself, and also set a limit, because it's so volatile, these markets, and the best thing you can do is try to dollar cost average your way in, rather than spending $100,000 or $1 million at one shot, and then you end up mistiming the market and buying at a relative high, or you could have probably entered much better if you took your time and slowly gradually entered into a position, especially if you're just onboarding from fiat. So think about this, set the limit, and don't overextend yourself. Now the next thing you want to do is you've got your research, you've got your monthly limit, you've got your strategy. Get antivirus, run it on your PC, Mac. This is really important because it's malware and keyloggers, screenshot viruses are sort of everywhere at the moment. Get a reputable antivirus. I'm not going to list any names, but there's a couple of big paid antivirus solutions out there. So get it, run it on your PC or Mac. If you're using Linux, you probably don't need this video. You're probably already a pro on cryptocurrencies. But anyway, this is for the absolute beginners. Now the next thing is two-factor authenticate everything. That's what 2FA means. So basically everything that you have, your email account, any exchanges that you set up, everything needs to be two-factor authenticated. This is so important because and this ties into the previous part about the antivirus, because you need to make sure that no one can access your personal details, which they can use to potentially undermine your assets that you're potentially looking to procure. So 2FA everything, and the exchange accounts that you set up, absolutely 2FA them. Now the next thing you want to do, as an absolute beginner, I would recommend going to Coinbase. I've got a referral link below, and the thing is, Coinbase it limits you to 3 of the large cryptocurrencies at the moment: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And this is good because it doesn't sort of overcomplicate things. It doesn't start telling you to go and look at Ripple or 10x or some of the other cryptocurrencies out there. It keeps you on a straight and narrow, and it doesn't give you too many options like margin trades and all that. It just pretty much go in there, you buy a crypto. It's a very easy process for a beginner, and as you sort of get more advanced, you move on to more advanced exchanges where you can do other things. So Coinbase.com as a beginner. Now the next thing, don't leave large amounts of crypto on exchanges. So now you set up your Coinbase account, you bought a little bit of Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you decide to get into. Don't leave it on the exchange, and this is because if the currency has a fork, or there's an airdrop of tokens. So this has happened so often. Like Bitcoin had a split and a fork, I should say, and basically Bitcoin Cash has recently split off, and now as of the 10th of October 2017, they're talking about having 2 more forks on Bitcoin in the next 2 months. So basically, if you keep your crypto on exchanges, you potentially don't get this free dividends. You have to control your private keys by moving these cryptocurrencies onto a personal wallet, and that can be a wallet on your PC or your mobile phone or your or hardware wallet, which we'll get into later. But basically, don't leave large amounts of crypto on exchanges. You miss out on all this basically free money, and you also are at risk in terms of the exchanges potentially. There's always a chance that an exchange can go under, and if you have a large amount there, you're potentially not going to get all your funds back. So buy your stuff from the exchange, and if you're not trading and all that, take it off, move it into your own wallet. Now we go into a simple desktop wallet. So I'm going to recommend Exodus, and it's good if you have small amounts of cryptocurrency and you're just beginning. Again, this is a very simple, easy to use wallet, and the reason why I'm recommending Coinbase and Exodus is because these things are so simple, and you're not going to stuff up. You're not going to make a big error and lose all your money. They've got very good support, so you can always go and go to Coinbase. You can go to the Slack for Exodus. You can get a lot of support if you really need sort of some help, and they've got good communities as well, so I definitely recommend them. Now with the desktop wallet, the first thing it'll tell you to do is record a 12-word phrase, which is your recovery seed. So that's really important. Write it down, keep it somewhere safe. It's in the event that you lose your laptop or your computer hard drive breaks, you can basically recover your funds using a 12-word phrase. So yeah, go to Exodus and check it out. They've got a couple of easy tutorial videos as well, so definitely check them out. I recommend using this desktop wallet for amounts, say less than a couple of $1,000s. Once you start getting to big amounts, you look at other options like a paper wallet or hardware wallet, which we'll touch on later. Now, if you want to use a mobile wallet, go to bitcoin.com. They've got a very simple wallet there for your mobile phone. I use it. It's very simple, easy to set up. They sort of walk you through the whole process as well. They've got a 12-word key phrase that you basically use as your backup. And now the main thing about a mobile wallet is you definitely don't want to keep anything more than say a couple of $100s on the wallet, because treat this as a wallet that you keep in your pocket. You could lose at any time. You can always recover it through a backup phrase, but you don't want to be keeping a large amount of money on a mobile wallet. And the other thing about a mobile wallet as well is if you are using a iPhone or I don't know, a Galaxy that's been jailbroken, actually I wouldn't recommend putting a Bitcoin wallet on a jailbroken phone, because that's just asking for trouble. The problem is when you jailbreak something, you don't know what other malicious software might have gone into the OS, and when I say OS, I mean operating system. So once you jailbreak something, you can't ever be sure about security. And so if you're using a second-hand phone that you bought from eBay or whatever, I definitely wouldn't put a mobile wallet on it. Get a brand new phone and then update. Go to bitcoin.com and get a new wallet with that. And don't keep too much amounts on these mobile wallets. It's only used for sort of spending when you go to a shop and all that. So you don't want to keep $100,000 on your wallet in your pocket. It's no point. So now when you start getting to larger amounts, say you had a really good run in your investment and you're getting to a couple of $100,000 or whatever, um, you definitely want to use a hardware wallet. Actually, even if once you get 10 grand, I'd sort of recommend using a Ledger or Trezor hardware wallet. So just Google Ledger or Trezor. I'll put some links down below to their websites, and these devices, basically the way they operate is they plug into your PC via USB connector, and the private keys of this wallet basically never leave the hardware device. So they are extremely secure, and they're the best way to secure significant amounts. Again, with these devices, you'll get a 24-word recovery phrase, and because it's a hardware wallet, and maybe you'll keep it in the bank vault or whatever, you want to keep the recovery phrase in a different location to where you keep the hardware wallet. Obviously, because if you keep them both in your house and you have a fire or whatever, you basically you lose everything, because you lose your hardware wallet and you lose your recovery phrase. So keep it in different locations. And the other thing of this recovery phrase, which I didn't mention earlier, and which was probably remiss of me, was don't ever show anyone your recovery phrase. This is because if someone else has your recovery phrase, they basically have your funds. They can basically take the recovery phrase, get another wallet, load the recovery phrase on, and bang, they've basically loaded up your wallet on another device somewhere halfway around the world probably. So write down your recovery phrase and keep it private. Make sure you don't show anyone what this phrase is. Okay, step 10. So now you've got a decent amount of money in your investment, and maybe it's paying off. What you really should do is spend it. If you got a large amount on Ledger or whatever, transfer some into a mobile wallet and go to a shop and try to buy something with it. Try to spend your bitcoins or whatever. There's some advanced things like 10x now, which basically allow you to spend any cryptocurrency via their debit card and their mobile wallet. So go ahead and spend some, because what this does is it helps you understand the value of this technology, why it's so amazing, and it also benefits the ecosystem. So alright, I'll end the video here, and we'll have more videos, but look, thank you for listening, and please subscribe for more information. Thank you.